I won a free stay at one of the most iconic hotels in Canada, and I had no idea what I was walking into. It was my first time to Banff National Park in Alberta, so let's lay the groundwork on how this Canadian jewel came to be and if staying here is actually worth the high prices. I'm one of those who enter any epic Instagram contest I come across, and this one paid off big time, but it also came with great cost. I'm Marissa, co-founder of foodietown.ca. I run this channel with Taryn, and together we are Canadian foodie sisters passionate about Canadian food and travel. Subscribe if that's something you're interested in too. The Fairmont Banff National Park is known as the Castle in the Rockies, and for a good reason. It stands just as triumphantly as the mountain peaks that surround it. Banff National Park was created in 1885 after a hot springs was discovered by Canadian Pacific rail workers, who then wanted to stake their claim in something that had been used by First Nations for generations. The government made it Canada's first national park instead, seeing huge potential for commercial revenue for the country and for the Canadian Pacific Railway. In 1888, the Banff Springs Hotel was opened to house the tourists the railway would import. After a terrible fire, it was rebuilt and opened in 1926 in a more Scottish baronial castle style that you see today. In 2011, the Fairmont and Canadian Pacific Hotel arm merged to create a luxurious property and historic site that it is today. Many celebs from Marilyn Monroe stayed here while filming River of No Return, prime ministers and royalty have rested their heads here, and more recently, Bryan Cranston and his wife celebrated their 35th wedding anniversary. And of course, you can now add me to the list. Now, we didn't exactly know what kind of room we were getting since the photos online of a King Jr. suite are scarce, but we had a feeling it was something special with a dedicated elevator only found on the 19th floor. The sun has come out. Gosh. Okay, you go ahead. So we just checked into our room and it is absolutely insane. Let me show you around. So this is the living room. As soon as you enter, this is kind of where you bring your luggage. Very spacious. You have a TV, and we even have a tea drawer, lots of drawers to put your stuff. That's one of our snacks from the road trip. You have your own fridge to use, which is great. There's no extra charges to use it. There's yours to use. So we've already got some of our stuff chilling in there. And then in addition, you have an espresso machine and a tea kettle, hot water kettle, more drawers, and a nice bucket and bottle opener. But one thing about this room is that every single room has a view. So it's just wild to see that in every single room. So let's move on to the bedroom. We have lots of storage space for our luggage. This is the bedroom. We have a king. I am still so blown away. And then here's the view from the bed. Just extraordinary. Like, I know I would never be able to afford this room regularly, so this is insane. I won this, and you're like, okay, sure, you won it because you're on YouTube. No, trust me, we're not getting any comps from our YouTube channel yet. But this was one using my work email, and oh my God, I am just so, this is amazing. This is truly amazing. And it's one of the few rooms that has a balcony, so let's go check that out. So we have two closets on our way to the balcony. So you can have a his and her closet. Great. Okay, let's go to the balcony. I am so flabbergasted that we have a balcony. Like, when you check online, the rooms are not shown to have any of this. Look at this. We are on the peak of the castle. Absolutely gorgeous. No matter which way you look, there's just insane views. Wow. And we'll be doing a little bit of golfing down there on Sunday. Wow. Look at this. And the clouds parted. Wow, it's just insane to see all of this. I just, like, look at, we're at the top of the resort right here. Wow. Insane views no matter where you look. And I'll bring you back in here and show you the bathroom. But just like, still so flabbergasted about that view. That absolutely insane view that we'll have as soon as we wake up in the morning. I don't think I'll close the blinds. And what else we have? We have a speaker, phone, alarm clock, charging station. Awesome. In-room dining. What is royal service? Like, all this is so new to me, you guys. I don't know. Oh, and then the charging cords are attached. Wow. Just, you can have a free drink using the QR code to join their loyalty program. Definitely recommend that because this place is not cheap at the bar. Wow. The standalone tub has a view equal to that from the bed, although I do have to say I wasn't able to fill the tub with hot water. Only lukewarm water was coming out, which was such a shame. But with his and her sinks and a spacious room, it really was a treat. I especially love the separate toilet and shower room, which of course also has its own view while you're in the shower. And you're not luxury if you don't have quality brands for your guests. As a woman who doesn't want to pack all of her shampoos and conditioners, it can make a huge difference. We really wanted to enjoy the amenities since this might be our only time staying at such a luxurious place. Besides the room, we got $150 to spend, but after a disappointing dinner, we felt priced out of our hotel. But we knew Banff is famously expensive, like the Swiss Alps of Canada, drawing millions of visitors each year, mostly British and European. Prices there are even higher than in Vancouver or Toronto. I also should mention that Whistler in British Columbia, when compared to Banff, is much more affordable, if you can believe it. If you're interested in a summer itinerary, check out this video. One aspect I did appreciate was the complimentary bus tickets, which take you to the center of the village and other stops within Banff. Should you want to go to Johnston Canyon, for example, to see the falls, it is an additional fee, though, that needs to be purchased before boarding. Our final treat of the stay was the complimentary Stanley Thompson 18 holes of golf. Upon arrival, the resort transported and stored our golf gear for us until our tee time. Golf fees vary throughout the season. In May, when we golfed, the greens are a bit rougher due to frost damage. At the time of our stay, golfing was about $280 a person. During peak season, you can expect to pay about $500 a person for a round of golf, my friends. If you can afford it, you'll be treated to the most gorgeous views Canada can offer during a round of golf. Right there. Right there. Insane. If you're interested in other areas in Canada where you can golf with amazing views, but is more affordable, I loved my experience at the Revelstoke Golf Club. Check that video out here, or link in description. So after all that, can I say the Banff Fairmont is worth it? If you've got the money, this is the Canadian trip of your dreams. However, if you're in Banff and don't want to go bankrupt,
I declare bankruptcy!
They make it easy for you to get a taste of this property's history by taking free tours on offer or a cocktail class, or just treating yourself to a luxurious round of golf in the heart of Canadian Rockies. Either way, you'll be plenty satisfied. Now, we do have a goal of visiting and covering the food scenes in every single Canadian province and territory. You can help us do that by subscribing to our YouTube channel, as well as our Substack for all the behind the scenes. I'll see you on the next one.